After MGK released his song Emo Girl and then followed it up by appearing in a bunch of insane interviews with Megan Fox talking about their love life, I think we're pretty good on MGK for a while. We don't need any more music. We don't need any more public appearances. We're good. We don't need to know any more about MGK's personal life. And folks, I think MGK finally took notice and he listened. He said, all right, look guys, I get it. No more music, no more interviews. I'm gonna take some time and I'm going to release a stoner comedy movie instead. So he hunkered down and he wrote and directed this movie, Good Morning, which currently has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. We got a good thing going here. 2 movies in a row with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. What's the opposite of a Renaissance man? You know how people, when people can like act and sing and direct, like Donald Glover, people call him a Renaissance man. MGK is like a Dark Ages man. MGK is a medieval man. Also, sorry if I sound sick. Sorry. The moment this movie starts, MGK, aka his character London Clash, gets kind of a weird good morning text from his girlfriend Apple.
Who's texting me? Oh, it's Apple.
The text say, I wish I didn't have to do this through text, and then good morning, but she spells morning with a U. Now you might think that this would make London a little bit confused, but then realize, oh, it's just a typo. And you'd be right. He does have both of those thoughts. The problem with this movie is that the entire movie takes place between those two things happening. This entire movie is about MGK being confused about what those texts meant. Before he gets too concerned, he has to Google what morning with a U means. He's like, my fans are probably young enough that both of their grandparents are still alive. I should probably explain what morning is.
Well, today should be interesting.
Yeah, they let you know right away that this movie was written by a millennial. Well, today's gonna be kind of weird. MGK wrote the entire movie like this. So this just happened. Yeah, so the conflict at the beginning of this movie is that London thinks that Apple is breaking up with him. That text was a breakup text. Sorry to have to do this through text. Good morning, as in like happy morning our relationship. What kind of person is Apple that he assumes the text good morning means have a good time with your depression now? Look, this relationship isn't working. We're just growing apart. I just feel like you need to have a happy morning now. A happy grieving to you, good sir. When they introduce this character, she better be like wearing a top hat and carrying around a cane. It's gonna make a lot more sense when that happens.
Good morning, good morning.
Today might suck, guys. I'm adulting today. All right, guys, it's time to attend the MGK School of Acting. You're about to step into an ice-cold shower. How do you react when the water hits your body? Shiver! Rub your arms to make yourself warm. Okay, those are good answers. Let's ask Professor Gun Kelly. Ooh, sorry, you guys all get Fs. Your punishment? You have to look at MGK's ass. That is just horrendous. I never wanted to see that.
You know why it sucks when you're going through it with your partner?
You're not going through it with your partner. She sent you one understandable typo, dude. Everything's fine. You're fine.
Yo, does this look like a breakup text to you, or am I tripping? Yes.
Yeah, dude, take it from the weirdest looking man you've ever seen who falls asleep in his cereal mid-conversation. That's a breakup text. I don't mean to shame this man's appearance. I think Cody Ko looks great here. This is Cody Ko if TMG made hyperpop music. This man has never sent a normal text in his life. I'm surprised he wasn't like, no, that's about as incoherent and cryptic as I usually am in my text. You're probably fine. His friend is clearly sick. At the beginning of the scene, he throws up on the microwave, and at the end of the scene, he drowns in his cereal bowl, and MGK leaves him to die. MGK, your friend is sick. Help him. And so am I. Goddamn. Also, just like a fun little continuity note, at the beginning of this scene, there wasn't a water bottle on the table, and then at the end of the scene, there is. So, that's probably why this movie has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ass continuity. I'm a stickler for details.
Meet Kennedy.
Uh-oh, guys. Megan Fox is here, and she is not like other girls. Megan Fox plays a girl named Kennedy, who's actually not the main love interest in this movie. Her character is actually lesbian, and at the beginning of this movie, MGK explains how, like, she hates boys, but she lives with all these boys, and so she's moving out, which MGK explains right after he forgets his line.
It's in rice.
Come on, you got it, dude. You wrote the movie, you should know it.
Please don't move out.
Yes, he did it. He remembered. It's a pretty long line. I'll cut him some slack. Throughout the beginning of the movie, they're constantly introducing new characters, and every character in this movie has some kind of weird quirk. This friend like did too many drugs at a music festival and now he's kind of loopy. This guy is always throwing water balloons at people. This guy like smokes a lot of weed. It seems like MGK wrote this movie with just a bunch of crazy weird characters because the only like joke that he can think of to put in this movie is another character saying something weird or dumb and him just kind of looking at them being like, that was kind of weird or dumb.
Mercury is in Everglades.
It's retrograde, Leo.
Every time he introduces a new character, there's narration that explains what the weird quirk about these characters are.
This is Angel. Meet Maxine Goldberg.
But they kind of don't like explain really what I want to know about these characters.
This is Dylan. I met him when he was working at In-N-Out and he used to hook me up with free burgers and shakes. He's been my boy ever since.
We don't care that he used to work at In-N-Out. That is so irrelevant. Please tell us why he's so sick. Why is he throwing up and passing out? That's more interesting. The reason that London Clash is so rich and cool that he lives in Rice Gum's house is that he is an actor. So throughout the movie, he's doing actor type things. Like he films this self-audition tape. I don't really know what he's auditioning for. It kind of seems like he's auditioning for everything and also nothing all at once.
Okay, this is my impersonation of Draco Malfoy looking for drugs.
Where's the pot, Potter?
I don't like Draco very much.
Honestly, this scene is pretty sad. I felt bad watching it. They don't explain what he's supposed to be auditioning for in this self-tape, but whatever it is, Jake Novak has a better chance of getting the role.
I want to be the next SNL cast member.
Now here's where the movie prevents the second conflict. That's right, this movie has two conflicts. The first is he gets that text with the typo, but the second is that today he has the biggest audition of his career. And no, it wasn't that self-tape audition. I guess they just kind of threw that in for goofs. He's auditioning to be the next Batman.
I'm still waiting to hear from my agent about this Batman role.
So, throughout the movie, London is faced with two equally important problems. The first, he has to prepare for the most life-changing, career-making audition of his life. And the second is that he's having a little bit of trouble getting a hold of his girlfriend. The stakes can't get much higher than this, folks. But Danny, can't he just prepare for the audition and then try to get a hold of his girlfriend later that day or tomorrow at the latest? No! They could be dead tomorrow, especially that one guy. He could die any second. They have to do both of them today. This movie kind of feels like a Lele Pons YouTube skit from like 2017, but instead of like 10 minutes long, it's an hour and a half long. From the sound effects to the uncomfortable silence between every spoken line in this movie.
Why would you give me goat milk?
I watched an interview. You said you like goat milk.
I can't tell if they're using the awkward silence for like comedic effect to like really hammer home that like, these guys are kind of weird. Or if the silence is more just because nobody knows their lines very well. There's another option that they added in all these pauses in the movie because we're supposed to be laughing at the things that they're saying in the movie. So they added in nice little pauses for us to laugh.
She left with the dude?
A buff dude. And they had bags. And yes, they left together.
In fact, it kind of feels like, have you ever seen people who have edited The Big Bang Theory so that it doesn't have the laugh track to show how like bad all of the jokes are?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Denise, the new assistant manager.
That's kind of what this movie feels like.
Why are your eyes all watery?
Because I'm high.
That's way better. Bazunga. It's so fitting that this movie feels like a bad YouTube video from 5 years ago because I'm pretty sure they filmed this at Rice Gum's old house. Did something happen in that house? Is there like a curse? 100 years ago, one of Hollywood's earliest YouTubers died in that house and now all the content that's created there is cursed to be mad disappointing. Okay, so now they got to investigate what's happened to Apple. London's phone is broken, so he can't contact her, so the only thing he can do is go looking for her. So he goes to the last place she was seen and talks to Pete Davidson.
Did you see Apple?
Yeah, she was just here like 2 minutes ago.
Did she say where she was going?
You know what? She did. She actually... No, are you fucking crazy? You guys never talk to me. I mean, the only reason you know my name is because it's on my name tag. Right there. B-E-R-R-Y. Barry.
Pete Davidson feels like he's not really invested in this movie at all. He breaks the fourth wall a little bit too much in this movie. He reads his name tag like he's making fun of the fact that it doesn't say Pete Davidson. He's like, Barry. That's not my real name. My real name's Pete. It's funny because I'm very clearly Pete Davidson and not some guy named Barry who works at a valet stand. There's also a scene later on in the movie where he looks directly into the lens of the camera. I think they could have cut that out. Well, talking to Pete Davidson, or sorry, Barry. It's just so funny that he's pretending to be Barry. Talking to Barry didn't get him any leads, so I guess that means now it's time to go to his audition. Or, no, sorry. Sorry, he breaks into Apple's house to find clues?
Find clues, please.
Find clues of what? What might she have left lying around that would indicate whether she made a typo this morning or not? They find a bag of her fingers? She was missing her fingers this morning. That's why she fucked up the text. Oh. We should probably call the police, right?
I'm not breaking into my girlfriend's house. Can't believe I'm breaking into my girlfriend's house.
Me neither, dude. Your life is pretty crazy. London Clash is so dumb. He makes the worst decisions at every move in this movie, okay? While they're in Apple's house, one of London's friends knocks over every single urn on the mantle and ashes go everywhere. And so they're like, oh shit, we have to put back the urns and then refill the ashes. But they're like, the only problem is, where are we supposed to find ashes? Where are we gonna find enough ashes to fill up these urns? But like, they didn't lose the ashes. They all just fell on the floor. They could just sweep them up and put them back in urns. It's like MGK was like constantly forgetting what previously happened in movies. And so the plot is being driven forward by things that just aren't problems. So anyway, as I said, this is a stoner comedy. You can probably guess the solution they think of to produce a bunch of ashes to fill back up the urns.
I'm stoner.
Yep. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Ah, bunch of weed. This movie's crazy. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Well, at least this dumbass plan that doesn't make any sense is gonna result in like some crazy shit happening, right? Something funny's bound to happen now, right? Wrong. They just spend like 10 minutes having a boring ass smoke session on the couch. And then one of them tries to talk to a lobster. They really sat around writing this movie and were like, what's the craziest thing that could happen while we're high? And then settled on talking to a lobster. You know, since weed is legalized in a lot of places like California, where they filmed this, I feel like stoner comedies aren't nearly as like interesting or edgy as they used to be. You know, smoking used to be kind of like a fringe culture. It doesn't really feel like this is like, it's like that crazy or funny anymore. This is a scene of 4 adults sitting around a living room and obeying the law.
Why did you spell it like that?
It's a typo.
Oh my god, it was a typo all along? Who would have guessed that? So I guess now the movie can end now, right? The movie can't end now, right? The movie can end now, right? There's 30 minutes left in this movie? What the fuck is gonna happen? What are they gonna do for 30 more minutes? Sit at a diner, apparently. So you're probably wondering how they wrap this whole thing up, huh? MGK missed his audition, he's not getting the role. His girlfriend is pissed off at him. How are they gonna wrap this movie up? Some sort of grand gesture that wins over both the director and the girlfriend? No, obviously not. That would make too much sense. London Clash gets the role because the director happened to see an Instagram live stream where London Clash gets punched in the face by Dennis Rodman, and the director just assumes that London Clash did that because he wanted to like impress him or something. It's a whole other plot line that I didn't really go into in this video, but it doesn't make any sense in the movie either. So he's got the role, now the only thing left is to get the girl, which he does by sending her a text at the diner being like, can we talk? And she's like, sure. And so they're driving to meet each other. He's texting her the whole way. He's texting and driving, and they get into a car crash, and then they are both paralyzed. That face says it all. That just happened. That's the resolution. He almost murders her. Irresponsible. He was texting and driving and he almost murders his girlfriend, and that's how it ends. After the credits roll, there's like a fun little blooper reel where we get to see the actors like messing around and not knowing their lines very well, which would have been a lot more fun if I hadn't felt like I had just watched an hour and a half of exactly that. Well, folks, what do you think? From rapper to pop punk icon to writer, director, and actor extraordinaire, which do you think MGK did best? Leave it in the comments down below. What do you think he'll get up to next? It's anyone's guess at this point. Professional fencer? Or maybe like a chef? He'll start just making food. That might be kind of sick. And you know what? All he would need to get started is HelloFresh. America's #1 meal kit and the sponsor of this video. Guys, I love HelloFresh. They send you fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, so you can savor delicious summer flavors right from home. I love getting a HelloFresh box because you know what it means? It means I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat for dinner every night. I'm not gonna find myself driving to some fast food chain to get a quick meal because I know I've got a quality meal that I can whip up in like 35 minutes right at home. And I know it's gonna be tasty. I know it's gonna be healthy. If you're trying to stick to a particular health goal, HelloFresh has you covered because they have veggie options, fit and wholesome options, and pescatarian options. So HelloFresh fits a variety of lifestyles. Their plans are super flexible. You can pause 1 week if you want to. You can add more food 1 week if you want to. And even if you're on vacation, you can change the delivery address to deliver to your vacation destination. And then you can have home-cooked meals when you're at the family reunion. HelloFresh is the very first carbon-neutral meal kit company, and nearly all of their packaging is recyclable. They help cut down on food waste because they send you pre-portioned ingredients so you're only using what you need. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and have a flavorful summer, then head on over to HelloFresh.com. Use my code TrulyGreg16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's HelloFresh.com. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Now I'm going to do the outro of this video. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my audience here on YouTube. We're the biggest and happiest family on YouTube. That is a scientific fact. Please do not look it up. Please do not fact check me because facts don't care about your feelings and I don't care about facts. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.